This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our grand bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of CANES memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Samu, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to CANESwear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CANESwear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CANESwear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, boys and girls. Well, kind of a good morning. You know, I have my issues here with Chick-fil-A on Pine and 160th. They're usually slow. So I order my biscuit. I pull up and it says, we're closed. But you took my order on the app. We're not open till 10:30. Bitch, I'm on at 10. I passed 3 Chick-fil-A's before I got to this one. I could have gotten my chicken biscuit in other places. Pines and 160th. Chick-fil-A. Get your shit straight, dude. Damn. Love me my Chick-fil-A, but I don't like incompetence, man. And on Pines and 160th, they're slow as hell. They think we're in the Keys. You know when you go to the Keys? You don't expect like quick service. Like they're relaxing, they're chilling, they live in another world, but you know that when you go. So don't you know that already, so you already hey, they chill over here, okay? So they're not a hustle and bustle here. But here we're hustle and bustle, and they're not. And they're open at 10:30. There was another one, but it was too far away. I would not have been back to be on time at 10 o'clock. Even though I can start later on if I feel like starting the show at 10:15 or 20 or 30, do whatever the hell I want to do. But, people count on us at 10, even though, you probably have a lot of people off today or something. Although I was listening to 940 Wins, they had LeVar Arrington on, and I don't know what the other guy's name is or whatever, but they had those guys on, so they were actually working today, which, good. And that's what Sean and myself are doing out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. So, unfortunately, I did not start off my day with a chicken biscuit, but it was really important I get my chicken biscuit. No, extra important today. Why? Well, let me explain what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I did my normal. I did not eat. They gave me like a little bit of bacon. They gave me a little boniato, kind of putting me off until the meal. All right. So then I scarfed down the meal. And then hours later, when I'm about to go to sleep, I got a headache. Because apparently my body said, you really didn't eat enough. You ate in that one sitting, but you know me, it's not like I'm a big eater. You know what I mean? I get full quickly. But I ate and I loved it and it was delicious. It was awesome. So I had a headache. And the other day I had a headache, but it was really light. So I didn't take any Excedrin. This time I should have taken Excedrin. But I said, let me test this one more time. And I did. Last night, I went to sleep again on my pillow. And I wrote it down now because a friend of mine asked me for the pillow, and I gave him the pillow, and he bought it already. And it's called Techno Gel. Dude, when I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, the headache was completely gone. Gone. But, I woke up with my body telling me last night, hey, you probably didn't eat enough. That's why I needed the biscuit right now. And these effing assholes, because I went and bought a chicken empanada at the gas station. That's never really a good idea. I took like a bite and a half and it was terrible and I threw it away. Plus all the empanadas that I just had in Madrid. Oh my God, put this shit to shame. So didn't eat anything. So I got to do this, and I'll probably eat something. Maybe I'll go to Moe's right down the street when I get off here. Right away, I got to eat something when I get off on the show because that sucks. But just want you to know, because I've had headaches and neck issues with all the different pillows that I've been using for years, and I bought this new pillow. It's called Techno Gel. Paid $200 for it. Okay, it's not a cheap pillow. Friend of mine, I bought it at a mattress store because I literally went to the mattress store and I lied on the pillow for like 15, 20 minutes to the point that my wife was already like getting embarrassed. Like, honey, can you want to get up? And I'm like, no, I want to really test this pillow to see if, because if I'm going to spend $200 on a pillow, I got to make sure. And so it was great. It was comfortable, whatever. But, you never know if it's just initial and whatever.
So I took this thing to Madrid with me and everything, and the bed was terrible, but my head and neck were like solid. And it works for side sleepers too. I'm a side sleeper, but I've been sleeping on my back, and now I am permanently sleeping on my back. I have now made the adjustment where I don't need to side sleep. But in Spain, I had to side sleep a little, and I did with the pillow, and you can. But let me tell you something, dude. That gel stuff, those little blocks of gel that your head sits on or whatever technology that they use. Put it this way, the day I bought that pillow, I walked in with a neck problem. It was like it was from sleeping on a bad pillow. The first night I slept on that pillow, the neck pain, I woke up with no neck pain. So it takes away the neck pain, and it took away headaches. And I say headaches because it took a little mini one, and then it took the big one yesterday. So twice I didn't have to take Excedrin. Less drugs in your body, right? And I got to tell you, bro. So I have the Techno Gel pillow, TECHNOGEL. I get paid nothing for this. This is not an advertising, but I'm just telling you because if any of you out there are dealing with headaches or neck issues because you're always tired of your stinking pillow, I got the medium 26 by 15.7 by 4.1 inch, and it's primarily for back and side sleepers. Techno Gel. I want to pass it on because, sleeping well is however you can, and having headaches or neck issues or whatever from bad pillows, it is horrible. Now, you're going to spend a pretty penny, but, if you're never going to have if it can relieve headaches and neck pains and all kind, the pillow is already worth the money that I spent. Already. I mean, it is heaven. Seriously, heaven for your head and neck. Just awesome. But that's just me, and me, I'm brutally honest. So I'd rather just tell you guys about it. And man, really grateful. There's a lot of things to be grateful this year. My Techno Gel pillow is definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. Whew. I thought it'd be cold, but it's cool. Yeah, it's not really hot, and the sun's about to come out now, so it'll probably get a little warmer as the show goes on. Anyway, had some fun yesterday hanging out with the family, nice and relaxing, and watched some football. Watched plenty of football. I'm sure plenty of you out there watch some football also. Make sure you smash the hell out of the like button, please. Don't forget to smash it. As always, I guess we got the hardcores in here, bro, because on a day like today, most everybody else is sleeping in or shopping. Yeah, that's right. Or shopping today. Yeah. So, you know what? Do me a favor. Give me 15, 30 seconds here. Clean my nose here.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
All right, baby. Thank you for hanging in there. I am dealing with the cold and trying to get rid of it. I think I have less in my system, but, just when you think... there we go.
There we go. Yeah,
there we go.
No, I was like, what is going on here? I forgot I lowered you down just in case.
Yes. Just when you think you've kind of crossed that threshold, you haven't yet. So,
well, actually, too, when you're breaking up, that's when it gets even worse because then you start coughing everything up and
Yeah. I'm at the point where it's really frustrating, but I mean, what are you going to do? It is what it is. At least it doesn't affect me in any other ways, but man, it is absolutely brutal. So I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and hope everything is well for you all out there. Dolphins are favored by 5.5. Over and under is 42 points. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. I expect them to win, man. Last night I was so frustrated because you think about it, you're 4-7 right now for the Dolphins. You should be 5-6. Well, there's a couple of other wins, but I'm just saying recently. Why? You should have beat the Ravens, dude. If you play your game instead of the stupidity that this moron did that day, where he changed things up and didn't stick to the run like he did the week before against Atlanta, and then how he's done the last 2 weeks, right? You beat the Ravens. Just like a couple years ago, if Fangio does what Al Golden did last night, blitz Lamar, you beat the Ravens. Coaching makes so much of a difference, dude. It really does. And you would be on a 4-game winning streak right now. Instead of 3 or 4, 2 in a row. You'd be winning 4 in a row right now. Looking to make it 5 in a row with the New Orleans Saints. Okay? And that's only because your coach decided to go the other way instead. It's just really, really frustrating at times when it's right there staring you. Now, we're a little different than most on the show because for years we've been telling you you cannot win with that offense and that quarterback. I get it. I got you idiots out there that are telling me every year, oh, no, this is Lamar's year. By the way, where are you people? Where is it? Like, you people always disappear. You show up in the offseason at the beginning of the year because you hear all the hype of the offseason about Lamar this and Lamar that, and he doesn't do shit in the playoffs all the time. He craps the bed. Why? Did you watch last night? One guy can make a living in the pocket and the other guy cannot. I don't know how many times I have to hammer that away. I don't know how many times I have to hammer that away. But I'm just wondering, for you Lamar people out there, are you done already? Because are you done looking stupid? It's a great regular season offense. Fantastic. Okay, when he can run, yeah, it's fun to watch. Not that it gets anything in the playoffs because then you get against the better defenses. They shut the run down and they make him a passer. And guess what? He isn't a passer. Here's Lamar 8 years in. I need to be more consistent, not miss the passes I make in practice. Well, in practice, there's no pressure, kid. There's nobody trying to take your head off. That's why you can complete them in practice. And don't worry, folks. There'll be 2 or 3 games every year. I don't know how many times I got to repeat that too. That, the athlete will hit a couple because that's what he is. He's an athlete. He's not a quarterback. The only problem is, as I'll repeat over and over again, Polian had it wrong when he called him a wide receiver. He's a running back still playing quarterback. He's not a real quarterback. Still an athlete. The guy he played, that guy can live in the pocket. That's when you're a real quarterback, when you don't need your legs to be able to be effective. If you cannot be effective living in the pocket, then you are not a real quarterback. You're still a gimmick. And that's what that offense is. It's a gimmick. If you let it run, then you've got a long day ahead of you. If you stop the run, you'll probably stop them 9 out of 10 times. 1 out of those 10, the athlete's going to burn you because he's going to make a couple of throws because he doesn't normally make them, but he'll make them every once in a while because he is an athlete. So he's got abilities that you and I will never have. But this is like, it's over and over. 8 years in, and he has never been consistent. That's just the way it goes. He'll hit some, but he's going to miss on a bunch. And if you pressure his ass, it's over. It's over. It's a simplified offense. He doesn't throw everything in the route tree. It's never been that way because that's not who he is. He sees it open, then throws it open. He cannot actually anticipate anything. That's not who he is. Never has been, never will be. And we have this chat every year, and every year I'm tired of making those of you that think that Lamar Jackson is like this incredible quarterback stupid. He's an incredible athlete. Can run like the wind. He can't pass like a real quarterback. And that's just and it happens constantly. And you saw it again yesterday. And it's just normal. And it's frustrating because the Dolphins should have beat their asses because they're not that good. Just like that entire division, by the way. I've told you Pittsburgh's a fraudulent team from day one. Cincinnati, they got Joe Burrow back, but who knows how long he'll last. And, I still don't buy the defense. It really, the AFC North is garbage. It doesn't matter which one of these clown organizations gets into the playoffs. None of them are making an impact in the playoffs. Okay? I mean, it is what it is. But that's a garbage division. That's what that is. Garbage division. And not a team that you fear at all. And you should not fear the Ravens. The Ravens aren't shit. And they never are in the playoffs anyways. So, but keep running that rinky-dink offense because, that's, I give John Harbaugh a ton of credit for sticking with it and giving Lamar every opportunity possible. But you never learned your lesson. And that's fine. That's the way it goes. So if you're going to be that ignorant, and let's move over to Dolphin fans now, because some of you have some silliness. They're not going to fire John Harbaugh. It is what it is. The day they move on from Lamar, they'll have John start a new team, and then they'll figure out if they keep him after that, if he can win with a different quarterback. But I think he has maximized that as much as you possibly could already. Okay, at one point or another, you really need somebody to live in the pocket and win from the pocket. Okay, but because John Harbaugh has been mentioned, and because we are talking about the AFC North, I want to mention something about Mike Tomlin. For those of you idiots out there that want Mike Tomlin, I want nothing to do with Mike Tomlin anymore. Mike Tomlin, it's interesting. He was a young guy when he came here for interviewing and then went to Pittsburgh and all that. And maybe he was too hip-hop then. Well, you know what? It's funny how I can spin that line now. He's not hip-hop enough now. Did you know that, Sean? That's my problem with Mike Tomlin now. He wasn't hip-hop. He was too hip-hop then. Now I say he's not hip-hop enough. He runs an old school style offense constantly that really does not adapt to what goes on in today's NFL. You can see it every single year. This guy doesn't really have a vision of a great offense. And then you watch George Pickens in Dallas, and you see what he's been doing. So you couldn't come up with an offense for a dynamic player. So the dynamic player was unhappy because he's in a, BC-like offense. 800 AD offense and shit. And Mike Tomlin has personnel control in Pittsburgh. So if they fire him, why would I want the guy that can't run a modern day offense, that can't make an offense fit for one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, okay, is constantly bringing on all kinds of iffy characters on his team, and he doesn't win shit anymore. He won at the beginning with Cowher's players. He's never won with his players. So for you Dolphins out there, you need to catch up. You need to evolve. Too many of you don't evolve. You know what I mean? So many of you, oh, well, Stephen Ross wanted Lamar Jackson. Well, guess what? That was a stupid call also. But some of you idiots keep backing that up that he wanted Lamar Jackson, because what's Lamar won, by the way? What do you think he would have done here? And now it's the Mike Tomlin thing. Are you watching what's going on in Pittsburgh? Have you watched for several years? He's in charge of personnel. He's the one that decides to bring on Aaron Rodgers. He's the one that decides to do all the other sorry-ass quarterbacks he's had for years. He's in charge of personnel. He has final say on the roster, something I didn't know. But once I found out for sure about this, about a half a year ago, I was done with him. And watching more of this season, why the hell would you want Mike Tomlin? How stupid can you be? And why would you want to live in the past with a guy that coaches in the past? So it's super interesting that back when he interviewed, he was too hip-hop. Now, he's not hip-hop enough for me. Ain't that a bitch? Because there's no proof that Mike Tomlin's any good now anymore. There's just no proof anymore. He has enough talent to get to the playoffs, but he never does anything. And he's never found a quarterback, and he obviously can't even – dynamic players can't make a living in Pittsburgh, no matter who they are. So why would I want a guy that is coaching football 20 years ago still? Why would I want a guy that has not evolved whatsoever with today's football? And the rah bullshit, that only goes so far with the words and all that. Out-scheme people. Show me. You can't. You got to out-talk people and out-motivate. Drop the Mike Tomlin thing, okay? If they ever fire him, whether they do or not, I don't really give a shit. But all I can tell you is that if the Dolphins hire Mike Tomlin, it'll be a freaking stupid-ass hire. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. Anyway. I see NorCal is in the house. Jeff in Long Island. Jaybird in. Yes, sir. Big weekend. Lots of stuff going on. Juan Rosa. Frankie Fresco. Gus 1388. Joseph is in. Happy holidays. Stoney Stanley. Skylar Tipton. Be Perfect. Ty in the Bronx. Let's see. Lamar, The Athletic, Jeff George, and Mayfield fans are hiding like Homer Simpson. LOL. Yes. Good morning to you, Rosendo and Brian. Thank you. A lot of the hardcore I see there are definitely on the chat board. And thank you, man. Appreciate you all out there, as always. I know that Bitcoin's been moving too, which I like that. We are over 92,000, although we have a lot of expiring, what's that called? Stuff, God, I forgot the stuff that, now I'm brain farting, but we have some stuff, like several $1 million of expiring stuff that could affect the markets today. So we'll see. But Bitcoin's at 92,655, actually. It is absolutely climbing. So good to see Bitcoin moving. And as for the markets, let me see, because I just pulled it up. It needs to refresh. And then I'll give you the latest numbers here. Let's see, because I know these numbers usually are a little behind. There we go. Now the Dow is up 262, the S&P is up 20, and the Nasdaq is up over 0.2. So there we go. So a lot of stuff could get liquidated today. We'll see how it affects the markets. The amazing part on the Bitcoin side is many people think, as they worry so much about this dip, it has been completely absorbed. So it's as a bullish a signal as you can possibly get. We are here at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Folks, come on out. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you here at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. And my man, Larry Schlossberg, of course, does a great job. There he is. You going to join us? You want to join us now? Let's get him a chair and give us 3 minutes here. Give a short break here. Let's get the man, the myth, the legend, Larry Schlossberg in here, because I got a couple things to talk to him about. Go for it.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other, and then they bite each other, and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All right, we are back, baby, here at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Last night we saw a lot of football, man. We had 3 games yesterday. 32-14 for the Bengals over the Ravens. The Cowboys over the Chiefs, 31-28. And the Packers defeated the Lions 31-24. One of the things that I enjoyed about the Packers and the Lions game was the halftime show, by the way, with Jack White and Eminem. And my man Larry Schlossberg is a bit of a rocker with Doors Alive and several other bands over the years.
Yes, for sure.
Damn right. So what'd you think yesterday of Jack White, man? I liked it.
It's cool. It was cool. It's nice to see some something other than hip hop represented.
Right. Or pop.
Pop and hip hop is pretty much
that's what dominates.
That's all it is.
That's all
it's
it
nice
dominates.
To get, some diversity out there.
And they brought a young guy around, which was cool because I know they always bring our old guys, and whether it's Kiss or U2 or The Who or whatever it is, bands that have been around forever.
Right.
That's usually what they go for, Aerosmith and all that kind of stuff. We do have some young guys out there that can rock.
It's been a while since you've seen a rock and roll represented live.
Yeah.
Now going in and out of commercials,
right?
It's all rock and roll.
It's all rock and roll.
You got Ozzy and Guns N' Roses and all that happening. Metallica,
right?
Those are the biggest stadium songs. Queen,
yeah.
But seemingly they forget that when they go to the halftime show.
Well, I think they cater to women.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because guys at halftime go get a smoke, go talk go eat. Go what they kind of get up and go. They don't really sit there, I think, average.
Okay.
Now the women, they stay there for the commercials and the entertainment at halftime.
Got it.
It's kind of like the Olympics. We know which are the better sports, but on prime time they're going to put figure skating because the women are going to watch figure skating and the ratings are going to go through the roof. So you kind of that's what I think that they cater to.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
You know what I mean? The woman, she runs the house.
Well,
pretty much.
It's kind of like with when they always have ladies' night at a nightclub. They never have men's night.
Right. Right. Exactly.
The women are happy and they're drinking.
Right.
And the guys will be there.
And the guys will be there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of odd like that. But then I loved it, man. I thought it was a great combo too, because Eminem can kind of have a hard style to his rap too.
Yeah, no, there's definitely room for there's room for everyone at the table. It's just
that was just
nice to get rock and roll seat at the table.
Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. By the way, did you see what happened with Paul Rogers? So sad, man, because they're inducting Bad Company into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
Why do we wait so long? So now the guy's old enough now at this point where he's had a couple heart attacks and seizures, so he could not perform live when he should have been inducted 30 years ago.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I think they've been eligible for 25 years. Yeah, and now 3/4 of the band can't be there. Two have passed, and now one's obviously not fit to travel. It's sad because it seems like there's a rush to bring certain bands in. They can wait a little bit, and
Kate Bush, like really? She'll be around a while.
There's even other young.
No, I know that, but I'm saying,
or maybe bands that I don't know what rock and roll the definition is. Kind of.
Well, it's really the Music Hall of Fame. It's really not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because, like I just said, the aforementioned Kate Bush, who was inducted last year, first of all, she doesn't even belong there. Okay, that's my opinion.
Probably closer to belonging than some others that have been brought.
Either way, she's not even she can't sniff Bad Company's jock.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying?
It's like a sports reference there. I get it.
Yeah. She's just not at that class. And to now decide to induct them now, it's kind of the same thing we did with Yes. They inducted him at a point where Lord is not there, and Lord's wife has to be there to take the award. Like
right.
It's crazy, dude.
Well, John Lord from Deep Purple.
Deep Purple. I'm sorry.
Right,
yeah. It's just like it's stupid,
well,
bro. Why are we doing stuff like this?
Obviously, politics. They look at Foreigner last year. Whatever, they finally get in. They should have been in. Whether you love them or hate them, it's
decades ago.
They've been eligible for probably 25 years as well,
and they have more hits than most people, anyways.
It's the point is that they're I believe, and my point would be, I believe that the founding fathers go first, the influencers go first.
Definitely.
Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. There's a list of there's bands that should have been in a long ago.
A long time ago.
There's bands that should be in already.
Right.
And they're not. But then somehow the Hip Hop Hall of Fame is invaded the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Did you get your Rush tickets? I don't know if I asked you last time.
I got Rush tickets.
Okay.
I'm actually going to a couple of shows coming up this month. I'm pretty excited about Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, he's awesome.
And that's rock and roll right there. And then 2 weeks later is Creed.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm sure is going to be amazing at the Hard Rock Live.
I saw Creed, God, long time ago.
Right, Hard Rock Live. What a place to see a show.
Yeah. The acoustics in that place is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys were open yesterday. How was it?
Yeah, we do business. It's we're open 364. We're open 365 on leap year, but we're open 364, and yeah, people are shopping. It's smart because it's nuts here today. Black Friday. If you're not out buying your drunk uncle a sweater or something, then you're coming here to buy a car, and or maybe you got the 100-inch TV for $100. I don't know, but here we're selling cars, and there's the savings that we're able to offer right now are like no other time of the year. It sounds crazy, but it really is maybe. But
Dude, the Integra 169 is a
the
joke.
Offers are that the factory,
It's a joke.
The factory has given us the ability to make discounting. It's going to be easy, and the selection's now better than it's going to be because as the year goes by, really, this is the end of the year for manufacturing. We're not going to get a lot of cars in between now and the end of the year. So if there's a color or a model that you're interested in, we've got the deal now that's same as is going to be on New Year's Eve that we can offer, but we have the selection now that we won't have then because we'll be running out of the, you want that red interior or you want the sport package or the advanced package. The Acura's got a lot of content, a lot of different trims on the different models, but obviously some are more popular than others and we can't keep them in stock, certain trims. Yeah. So now's the time to do it.
Yeah. The ADX $239 a month, 4.9% financing. The RDX $359 a month. The TLX $339 a month. I mean, 60 months.
Yeah, it's crazy because if you waited because you couldn't make a decision or the timing wasn't right for you, you were smart, I guess, because now's the time because the factory wants to make it happen. The manufacturers we want to
close out the year strong.
We want to close out the year. It's bragging rights for the manufacturer. They set objectives. It's a little bit of a race. It's a little bit of a contest to see, if we can outsell this brand, whatever. So to them, they already sold us the cars. Now they got to give us the tools to get the customer to buy the car. And they've done it.
Certified pre-owns too, right? This lot is loaded right now.
And we've got cars that are from our courtesy car fleet. This woman I was just talking to, looking at a car with 3,000 miles on it. It's a 2025. It's got a better warranty than a brand new one that looks just like it. And it's about $10,000 less with a special interest rate and a 6-year, 100,000-mile warranty at no extra cost.
Take advantage, folks.
It's the time.
Yeah, make sure you mention our name when you come on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard. How late are you guys open till today?
We're going to be open until the last person sings and says, "I'll take it home." Whatever it takes, we're here. But so don't let that stop you. Don't let the clock stop you.
I love it.
Do your shopping or do what you got to do, or maybe you're just waking up because you ate a lot of turkey and did a lot of other stuff last night.
The tryptophan has subsided
once that
already.
Wears off and you dealt with your hangover. Come over here and we'll all the coffee you can drink.
All right. So, and when you want to catch Larry jamming, when's the next Doors Alive appearance?
Well, Doors Alive is hiatus for the rest of the year.
All right.
And we're gonna be back live and in person. We got big shows coming up. It's a sports bar in Coral Springs. Sharky's. It's a big bar. It's a really cool place to play.
Sharky's is awesome. I've seen them at Sharky's.
Big stage, great sound system. That's a fun gig. A lot of big shows coming up. We just did a show up in Stewart at this River Festival, Rockin' the River Fest, and that was amazing. Probably 1,000 people there. It was a lot of fun.
And Sharky's food is excellent too, by the way, because I went with the wife to go see Larry jam. I love the Doors, and they do so many of the good, and they do some of the deep songs too. They don't do just the normal hits. So that's the good thing. You guys hit a nice variety of.
Yeah, we got to mix it up. I mean, we're gonna do a up to 2.5 hours worth of music in some cases. So we're doing it all. We're doing it all. It's a concert.
And I always love that they play The Wasp, which is my favorite song. I love The Wasp. What kind of a high that man must have been on to write that. Holy moly. That is, I mean, to come up with
some very interesting lyrics.
Those lyrics, it's just amazing. All right, Larry. So tell them, what do they got to do to take advantage this weekend, buddy?
You just got to get here while you can. I mean, while the timing's right. I mean, now is the time. Come take advantage of us. We're here. We're vulnerable. You can do whatever you want to us and take the car with you. We're ready for that. And we're here all weekend. And Sunday's the last day of the month. I can't really remember the last time. And it was probably 6 years ago where Black Friday was the last weekend of the month, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then, so this is it. This is the last 72 hours of savings. Get it now. And like I said, we got sponsorships with CarFox. We've got everything we need to make the car deal happen. We've got lenders on site to make loans happen. We've got plenty of inventory and plenty of staff to take care of you.
Yeah, and that red, by the way, what's the number? What's the color of? What's the name of that red? Because you guys always have
the name of the red. That's actually Performance Red Metallic.
That is a beautiful red, dude.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful. It just makes it look mean.
It's a mean looking red.
Yes.
You want to remain at the speed limit when you're driving a car of that color.
Impossible.
Because it's going to hard.
Impossible.
It's hard to duck between the other sea of white, black, and gray when the cops are looking to pull you over.
Those things fly. So they're amazing.
Yeah, great. Thanks
Appreciate
so much,
you,
guys.
brother.
Thanks to Big O family, and thanks to the Big O.
Thank you. Make
Happy
sure you
holidays.
mention us. Happy holidays. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you. And make sure you mention our name when you come on down here and buy or lease a vehicle at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Larry's a good dude, man. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Remember, you need custom printing and embroidery. Please reach out to my man, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Tonight, Panthers will host Calgary at Amerant Bank Arena, or this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Calgary plus 160 on the money line. The Panthers are minus 190. They're coming off a 4-2 loss to Philly on Wednesday. Saturday at noon, number 12 Miami visits number 22 Pitt. Very nervous about this game, I got to say. Miami's favored by 6.5. Over and under's 49.5. Miami minus 300 on the money line. Pitt plus 225. Saturday at 8 o'clock, Spo looking for his 801st win as they take on the Pistons. They will host them at 8 o'clock. Saturday at 6, MLS Conference Finals. Inter Miami hosting NYCFC. Fort Lauderdale United, they are off till December 13th. They'll be back in action then on the road to take on Sporting Club Jacksonville. And remember, you can watch the games on Peacock and Channel 10. And we do have Black Friday action today at 3 o'clock in the NFL. The Bears and the Eagles, both 8-3. Eagles favored by 7. Over and unders 44. Bears plus 275 on the money line. The Eagles are minus 350. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see. Miami FINS says, Big O, you're right about Tomlin. Will be still a mediocre 8-9 team with him. Listening while I have to work today. Go FINS. Thank you, sir. Alexis Palenzuela, good morning to you. Ted is in New Jersey. True Fin fan. Sean with the in-show technical difficulties. I like it. And no doubt in the house. Thank you, sir. As always, don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Chainlink donation as always. Appreciate that. And we are at 92,540 right now when it comes to Bitcoin, trying to make it back to the 100K mark, which will be very shortly. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Last night, well, we saw obviously Lamar and the Ravens crap their pants. The Cowboys, got to tell you, bro, you would tell me that the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles and the Chiefs in 4 days, and I would have never believed it. Because even though they have been playing well lately, they're a team you never trust. You kind of expect them to choke. In fact, even when Dak threw that early interception, you're like, oh, okay, there we go. That's kind of cowboyish, you know? So I got to tell you, man, I would have never guessed. I would have never bet that the Cowboys would have won these two games. I got to give them and I know the Chiefs maybe aren't as good as they have been in the past. Mahomes, God bless him, he tried his best yesterday. It's just not a great team. Chris Jones has not been Chris Jones. And that's a problem because he's Mahomes on defense. He has to be the guy that's unstoppable. And when he's on the sideline saying, my bad, because I did not have, gap discipline and I gave up that touchdown, it's stuff that just cannot happen with them. You know what I mean? And lately, when you've made all these Super Bowl runs and all these deep runs, it starts to catch up to you at one point or another. It's human nature. So for the Chiefs not to be who they've been in the past, that's super understandable. Even though everybody thought that once they got all their offensive weapons healthy, that's it. They were ready to go, but they're still not there yet. It just doesn't look like it overall, but I got to give the Cowboys a lot of credit, man. I got to give them, again, doesn't mean they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs or all that right now, but they have played well lately, and two huge wins in the last week that I would have never imagined in my life. You would have asked me, I would have been wrong as hell right there with the Cowboys. And I picked the Chiefs yesterday. So just tells you, but clutch performances by the Cowboys the last couple of weeks, man. And again, it's what I told you. Look at George Pickens. This is a reason why you got to stay away from Mike Tomlin. Whatever you thought about Mike Tomlin and all that kind of stuff, and because you and I think that we missed out on him then and all that, that's fine. What's happening now, it's a lot of it is his fault in Pittsburgh. And when you watch George Pickens find a home with a real offense, real quarterback, and all that kind of stuff, you got to blame Mike Tomlin. You let go of a franchise-like receiver because you can't create an atmosphere for him. Shows your limitations, man, as a coach. I got to do it again, Sean. 30 seconds, please. I gotta clear my throat. I'm so sorry.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of CANES memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
All right. Thank you for hanging in there. I appreciate you all. I just gotta get through this cold, man. I really do. I just got to get through this cold, and hopefully we'll figure things out. The worst part is I don't know where I put my Afrin. I went back to the car to go look for it. Did not find it. Oh, yes. Don't touch. Yeah, it is. It is in my jacket pocket. Yes. When you mentioned that, I remember sticking it in my jacket pocket. Boom. 15 seconds now. This will clear it up even better. 15 seconds. I'm
For
sorry.
over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
All right. Thank you all out there. We'll do our best. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. The Ravens quarterback is well, yeah, he's taken a lot of hits. He's a running quarterback. I mean, when I saw Jackson Dart at the beginning of the year, I told you guys that doesn't. You can't play like that in this league, and there he is, and he's returning from a concussion. And he'll have many more to come. Not that I'm wishing it on him, but if you can't make a living in the pocket, it is what it is. So learn to live in the pocket. That's how you will last even longer. It's funny, the best team in the league has a statue at quarterback. Best team in the league, statue at quarterback. So, what can I tell you? Ted says Dolphins playoffs are still possible. It ain't over. Keep fighting. Hey, listen, whatever keeps you going, my brother. I'm a self-motivated Dolphins fan. I love them no matter what, but I'm going to tell you brutally exactly what's going on, what I think is going on, and no, they're not going to the playoffs. And it's not a playoff team. It was never a playoff team. We told you that in the offseason, Ted. I didn't need the regular season to watch this. I saw it in the offseason. So it is what it is. Don't worry about it. Our coach will have plenty of brain farts left to screw things up. And they're not making the playoffs. But if you need that as a carrot dangling in order for you to watch, I don't do that stuff. I don't, and I'm not going to do that to try to entice you to keep watching. You know what I mean? So I'm lying to you and I'm dragging you along. No, that's not who I am, dude. I'm going to tell you brutally honest what it is. They're a bad team. They're a bad organization. They're a joke of an organization. And it is what it is. And we're going through another meaningless season. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. It's our team. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Anthony. Thank you, sir. Pickens and Lamb is a great combo. I agree, no doubt. Who would you pick? McD pounding the ball with all running backs, or Ross hiring black magic specialist to turn things around? Who's the black magic specialist to turn things around? I have no idea. You're whatever you're smoking this morning, you are way ahead of us right now. Which is the best team in the league right now, you think, Big O? I just told you. The team that has an immobile quarterback in Los Angeles. The Rams are the best team in the league, and it's not even close. Big O, Casey had penalties called on just about every drive in the second half, putting them in an offensive hole. Some questionable, while Dallas had 0. I don't like either team, but that seemed odd. I mean, there were some bad calls overall, but I've been watching this with the Chiefs all year, dude. This is not anything new with the Chiefs. They're not that good right now. They're just not. And let me tell you something. Before the last two games, this game and the last game, Mahomes went on like a 3-game streak where he was awful. For his standards, he was awful. Okay? It's just not a good team. It's just not. The defense is not where it's been in the past, and then the offense has had its own issues as it is, that it's kind of inconsistent. So there's really not a lot of great teams at all in the league right now. There's a lot of teams that have some issues, and that's what you watched a lot of yesterday. I just think maybe Green Bay, even though there are moments with Love, but still, he's good enough. They have a little bit more balance, but it's just there's some issues there. The Lions, dude, you wonder if they're wearing down too with the way they play over the years. It's yeah. I when I look at the Rams, there aren't a lot of teams like the Rams in the NFL where they are stout on both sides of the line and both sides of the ball are playing really, really well. And that Rams defense, holy shit, dude. That front four of theirs is nasty, dude. Nasty. They lose Aaron Donald, and they're still super nasty. How is that? And then you see what we have here in Miami Gardens. That's crazy. Entering December, nothing about the Finns' history would give me confidence that this team will have a tremendous run. Of course not. Plus, you have a shitty coach. How can you have a tremendous run with a shitty coach? That doesn't make any sense. Morning, sounds like some of the chats want you to be the hopium dealer. Now, I'll leave that for Joe Shad and all these other guys that have to kind of try to spin things so they can, sell stories and keep you in, for me, you know how it is, man. The problem is, Ocala Joe, we have a level of our fan base that's really soft. And so if you're too honest with them, they can't handle that, and they need you to lie to them, to tell them that their team is better than what they really are, or they really have a chance today, or all that kind of stuff, because some of them kind of need that in order to watch, where I don't. I'm going to watch and root and hope for the best no matter what it is, but I know who they are. And so there's, that group of Dolphin fans that they don't want to admit who they are. Just like a lot of them won't admit that they're like the Browns and the Jets. These are terrible franchises, and there's a reason why they're constantly terrible franchises. It's a shame, but that's kind of the world we live in. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people that are very, very, as they say, insecure. So. What else do we have? Big O, I meant which odds you like, McD beginning a game day coach or Ross getting lucky? I don't know. Is Ross getting lucky like getting laid? Oh, lucky find, yeah. He'll never find a coach, unfortunately. He'll never find a coach. By the way, we're going to talk to Manny Navarro in just a couple of minutes, and we'll get his thoughts on a big game for the Canes. This reminds me of how I felt for Inter this past week. I did not like the matchup against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. I was terrified of that game for Inter Miami. This week, I'm not that. This week, I'm actually confident against NYCFC. But last week, I got to admit, I wasn't confident. I was kind of preparing myself for a loss. And they came out and dominated. It's the same thing this week. I'm so terrified of this Pittsburgh game. Because after all this, silly talk from these Canes fans out there that still don't understand what's really going on, they just think, oh, head-to-head. No, dude, it's never been like that. If you lose late, it's going to hurt you more. It's always been like that. You know what I mean? Like the fan, maybe it's some of you young people, but you don't remember us losing to Florida State and then winning the national title. And why? We explained it, right? Why? You lost to Florida State at the beginning of the year. So as much as we all thought at that moment it was going to affect us, it didn't. We ended up winning the national title at the end of the year. So they don't realize that, those Canes fans of nowadays, they don't realize that when you lose late, you get burned. So forget about that silliness. those of you out there, you've been dead ass wrong about this, but whatever. Go ahead and put on your little pom-poms and your homer approach and all that. But Pitt can score. Pitt can run the ball. Pitt's got some tough people on defense. And maybe they might have a better head coach. And we're going to find that out. We're going to find that out on Saturday at noon. The Canes are favored by 6.5. I would never lay the points in this game because Mario is the kind of guy that I still don't trust in big moments. He has to earn that with me, unfortunately. I don't trust him. So this is a game that I don't feel good about with Miami. I kind of feel like this is one that they could lose. So we'll see. And we'll talk to Manny about the Canes. All right. Here on the program. R.I.P. Fuzzy Zeller. Really? Did Fuzzy Zeller just pass away? Wow. Check that out, please. What else? Big O fan of the show, Elvis Steelers. You got tired of Tomlin? Yeah, and that's it. I wouldn't want Tomlin. I think that would be an incredibly stupid move by the Miami Dolphins if Tomlin is fired by the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I don't know if they will or not. So there you go. He did. He passed away yesterday. Well, rest in peace, Fuzzy Zeller. He was a character. He made headlines with that whole Tiger Woods chicken and something and all that. Yeah. But it was different time and, just crazy, man. But yeah, I remember that Fuzzy Zeller made the headlines because of that controversial comment that he was trying to be a smart ass or funny or whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. By the way, props to the Detroit Lions. That was a real halftime show. Jack White and Eminem, that was really good, dude. Really good. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. That was my kind of halftime show, dude. I love that. That was fan-freaking-tastic. That was the best. They had Little John in the Ravens one. And they didn't show it. Was that a good decision? Yeah! Little John. Come on. What'd they have in Dallas? It's like some country stuff, right? Jack White, baby, and Eminem. That was real entertainment. That was strong right there, I got to say. Let's see. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Post Malone, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, Post Malone. He's smart. He dabbles everywhere, so that goes well with it. That one wasn't bad, actually. My daughter enjoyed Post Malone. That's right. I forgot about that. She was watching. She was like, wow, it's Post Malone. It's the only time she watched. Then she left back and went to either help out with the cooking or went upstairs to her room just to chill out. She never watched one. She would come down and say, is this the same game on? And it was like a different game. She'd come back, and then like the third game's on. Is this the same game all day long? Or, so she wasn't paying attention. She doesn't. It's like, sweetheart, you walked in at 1:30, and now it's like 6:30 or 7. There's another 2 other games have gone on. Oh, okay. Oh, it's Post Malone. I don't really care much about Post Malone. He's all right, but I will say that the Jack White one and Eminem, that one did it for me personally. But I'm a little biased. What can I tell you? And you are correct, Ducky. Yeah, Lamar looked sharp last night. I sense the sarcasm in the comment with the face. Love it. Oh man. While we await for my man Manny, why don't we give you musicians that were born today, since I talked about music right now? Trey Songz, born in 1984 on this date. Happy birthday to him. Chamillionaire. Yeah, you want to be riding dirty? That's what it's all about. Born Hakeem Sariki, the U.S. rapper. Houston hip-hop scene. 79 for him. Matt Cameron, one of many drummers with Pearl Jam and also Soundgarden, born in 1962. Pearl Jam's had, 57 drummers? Richard Grossman, bassist with the Divinyls. Whether he touches himself or not, we have no idea. Born in 1959. Let's see who else celebrate. Paul Schaefer. That's right, with David Letterman, born in 1949. Biebs Birtles from Little River Band, LRB, born in 48. Randy Newman, show people got no reason. Show people got no reason to live. Born in 1943. I love LA. I love it. Clem Curtis from the Foundations, born in 1940. And Berry Gordy, bro. Damn. Founder of Motown Records, born in 1929. That is musicians born on this date. Let's go with other famous people. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they are no longer with us. And by the way, Berry Gordy's 96 today. God bless him. Let's see, what else do we have here? Actor Ed Harris, born in 1950. He's 75. Astronaut Barbara Morgan, born in 51. She's 74. Actor Judd Nelson, born in 1959. He's 66. Comedian, TV personality Jon Stewart, born in 62. He's 63. Let's see. Actor Rose Abdul, born in 62. She's 63. Musician Don Robinson from En Vogue, born in 66. She's 59. Model Anna Nicole Smith, born in 67. Passed away several years ago. Musician Apple de App, whatever, from Black Eyed Peas, born in 74. He's 51. And actor Alan Rickson, born in 82. He is 43. We're talking about Reaper, the TV show. And let's see who else. Actor Joe Cole, born in 88. He's 37. Auto racer Chase Elliott, born in 95. He's 30. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
We do. And the answer is 5 for the Pearl Jam drummers.
Oh, really? Only 5?
Yeah. They had like 4 real quick, and then the last guy was 98 to 2025.
Really? God, it seems like they've had
again, I'm going off of what's on the internet, so maybe I'm...
What internet? Like...
it was, I think it was Wikipedia.
Okay, Wikipedia. Okay. Okay.
D3 turns 35 today. Big Cat Ernie Ladd was born on this date in 1938. Gabby Laspisa is 34. Rob Conway turns 53. Saya Kamatani is 29. Sean Legacy is 30. And the great Summer Rae, she turns 42 on November 28, 2025.
Okay. What band did I make you look up? Yeah, Pearl Jam. Okay. Yeah, you're right. 5 drummers. Dave Cruzen, 90 to 91. Matt Chamberlain, 91, brief stint. Dave Abuzizi, 91 to 94. Jack Irons, 95 to 98. And then Matt Cameron, 98 to 2025. It just seems like they would change drummers like I change underwears. It's funny how the perception is that they have like 800 drummers. It's crazy. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? That's very important, right? Let's go with the 1960 Elvis Presley. Started a 6-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Are You Lonesome Tonight? Let me see. Hold on. Oh, hold on. All right, let's see what else do we have. In 87, REM had their first entry in the top 10 on the U.S. singles charts with This One Goes Out to the One I Love. The record had ironically become a popular dedication to loved ones due to a misinterpretation of its refrain, This One Goes Out to the One I Love, and a failure to note the contradiction within the same verse, a simple prop to occupy my time. In 87, Dirty Dancing hit I've Had the Time of My Life, goes to number 1 in America as the Swayze lift becomes a popular dance move. In 91, Nirvana recorded a performance for the BBC Top of the Pops in London when asked to lip sync Smells Like Teen Spirit to a pre-recorded tape. Kurt Cobain presented by singing in a low-pitched, funny voice with the rest of the band not even trying to mime in time to the track. In 99, Rage Against the Machine were number 1 on the U.S. album charts with the Battle of Los Angeles, the band's second U.S. number 1. In 2005, Shakira released her 7th studio album, Oral Fixation, Volume 2. It features Hips Don't Lie. And in 2007, Kanye West and stuntman Evel Knievel settled a copyright dispute over West's use of the name Evil Kanye Evil in a music video. The 69-year-old daredevil had claimed that his image was tarnished by the video's vulgar sexual nature. In 2008, Britney Spears released her 6th studio album, Circus. It features the singles Womanizer, Circus, If You Seek Amy, and Radar. And let me see if there's any birthdays that were left out on that other list. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 here that slip past. Shy FX is 46. Don't know who that is. Tyler Glenn of Neon Trees is 42. And that's it. That's what happened today in music history. There we go. That's what it's all about. Thank you out there. Don't forget, smash the hell out of the like button, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Let's see. All right, what else do we have here? Rush's albums from 2112 through Moving Pictures were the best stuff. I mean, whatever, man. So much Rush stuff. I like the first album. You know, the Rock Edge with Working Man and what is it, Find My Way or something like that. Yeah, dude. I'm good with Rush from beginning to end. You know, I'm not with the guy that Signals and on, and then they got a little bit more, synthesizers and all that. To me, bands evolve and they try different things and they try different sounds. It's like listening to the Metallica people lose their mind about the Black Album and on and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, dude, bands evolve. And they try different sounds and they gravitate to different sounds. If you love the band, then you will appreciate their variety. and the way that they go about not trying to sound the same. Look, it works for AC/DC. They have sounded the same every moment of their lives, and that's fine. But other bands tend to evolve and tend to change up some stuff, and I don't have a problem with that. So with Rush, I'm good, man. I'm good with every era of Rush, period, from beginning to end. I respected it, and it was just one of those deals. So, yeah, I'm a big Rush guy. I guess you guys are seeing the shirt. This one's from, I think this is their last tour from 2015. I think this is the one I saw in Tampa. I did not see it here in Miami because they did not come to Miami. Does it have all the dates there? The cities? But I'm pretty sure that was their last tour in 2015. I think this was the last tour. I think it was something like that. And I saw it at the Tampa Bay, wherever the Lightning play. I forgot the Tampa St. Pete Times Arena or whatever. Tampa was St. Pete Times Arena or whatever, and it was awesome. But I love them. It says 2015. Yeah, that was their last tour. It's a great shirt. Great shirt. What else do we have? Trey Songz used to go to LA Fitness in South Miami. Okay. Good to know. Buffalo better make the Super Bowl. If they don't, fire the head coach. CMA says Canes did some good help. Oh, Canes did some good help needed. We'll have to win at Pitt big time. Just win. They're not good enough to be blowing out teams. They should have blown out Virginia Tech and not make it a game at all. And they had let Virginia Tech kind of hang around until that last touchdown at the end that they got in garbage time. And then they really pulled away. So it would be nice, by the way. I agree with that sense that I would love to see them go up there and crush Pittsburgh 50-10. That would be good. That would be impressive, actually, if they can do that. You know, that would be cool. Inter Miami, NYCFC. Mañana ago, Whitecaps beat San Diego. Panthers home to Calgary. Yes, sir. Man, Rage Against the Machine has to be the greatest band to only drop 2 albums. LOL. Rage is good. Rage is good. I'm not like the biggest Rage Against the Machine fan and all that kind of stuff, but I respect them. I respect their game. I understand. And Morello is one hell of a guitarist. That I gotta give him his props, dude. Okay. Definitely got to give him his props. So the Miami Dolphins are going to need a head coach. And I'm not going to get too much into this because we're still not there yet, and we'll get into all of this. But I did see an article this morning talking about head coaching candidates for the Miami Dolphins. Brian Flores, Anthony Campanelli, former Dolphin assistant, Jaguars defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, Detroit defensive coordinator, he looks like he can still play. Guy's got arms like my legs. Marcus Freeman, New Orleans head coach. Chris Shula, Rams defensive coordinator. Clint Kubiak, Seattle's offensive coordinator. Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy, the former head coach. Jeff Hafley, the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator. And my favorite one out of the list, and one of you guys out there, one of our listeners brought it up the last time you guys really were bringing up the conversation more than anybody else. And we, danced on it a little bit. Joe Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator. That like for me, the only guy that really like attracts me would be Joe Brady. He's worked with several quarterbacks. He's worked on several NFL teams and college teams now. So he's bounced around a bit. I like that, actually. I don't like the guy that's been stuck in one place. I've never enjoyed that because that person usually doesn't have great hookups and contacts because they haven't bounced around the league and met more people. Because once you go from one job to another and another, you're meeting all kinds of different staff members and position coaches and assistant coaches and quality control and all that kind of stuff. So you start to get a better feel for how some things are done right and wrong and all that kind of stuff in all phases because you're around it a lot more. And I think it's very important. So one of the things I like about Brady, he's also bounced around a little bit. But that's the problem with this. There's going to be a group of teams, several teams are going to be looking for coaches. And will Miami be the sexiest destination for that coach? Probably not. So, some of you, Brian Flores ain't coming here. Plus, he couldn't build an offensive staff. He showed me that the first time around. Why would he be able to build an offensive staff now? And the guy that I would want is the guy that runs his team, Kevin O'Connell. That's the guy I would want because that's the kind of guy we need here. So Kelvin Shepard's done a nice job as the defensive coordinator for 1 year. Marcus Freeman is very interesting in Notre Dame. But again, he's not an NFL head coach. He's not an NFL coach. He doesn't have a ton of NFL experience. Because I got to respect what he's done at Notre Dame. Kids there have to also have to hit the books. Okay? That's but out of that list, Joe Brady is the only one that as a Dolphin fan I would truly be excited about. Okay? It would be tempered enthusiasm because I've told myself now, I have convinced myself never to go and get excited ever again about the Dolphins. Wait for the Dolphins to be truly exciting for me to be excited. But I'm not doing that anymore, as I've told you guys. I am not getting on the hamster wheel again. Not doing it. I'm not doing it. But the one guy out of that list that at least would tell me, okay, I like this. Let's see. Can he build a staff? Can he be a head coach? Is he a good game day head coach? All that kind of stuff we'll need to find out. But Joe Brady would be the one guy out of that list. That would be the one guy that I would be kind of intrigued. The only problem I have with it is your team is dysfunctional. Your owner is one of the most dysfunctional owners in all of pro sports. I don't know how you are anyone's first or second option. And that's the part that I don't like. So then you end up settling for somebody else that may not even cut it as it is. So just thought I'd talk a little bit about that because it's an interesting, it's a path that we know we have to go down at one point or another. And Miami is going to make that coaching change. There's no way you bring back McDaniel. Unless he runs the table, makes it to the playoffs and wins, then I understand that, okay, well, he won a playoff game and out of the scenario, out of the situation that he was in, that would be a miracle. Not going to happen. No chance in hell. But I would understand that. But outside of that, which is not going to happen, you got to make a change. And this is going to be part of our conversation. The question is, can Miami land the best candidate or the second best candidate that comes out of this mix, like a Joe Brady? Yeah. Anthony Weaver and Calvin Shepard working together would be good. Yeah, but Calvin's not leaving to be a defensive coordinator here. He wants to be the head coach. And Anthony Weaver wants to get a head coaching job, so he's going to do interviews. And if you don't give it to him here, he's not coming back here to be the defensive coordinator for Calvin Shepard. You know what I mean? you will lose Anthony Weber too. So that's the reality of it all. You know? Ray says, yes, I brought it up last month and you agreed. So you were the one, Ray. I know one of you brought it up. I know that. Thank you. Let's see. Our future has Mike McCarthy written all over it. That would not do it for me. How about you?
But when you look at everything else,
he's kind of right, by the way.
We're going to have to settle. He's going to be the guy that's there left because nobody else is going to want to come here.
He's, you know,
Mike McCarthy wants a job.
I think Noel Dowd is kind of like onto something there. Like, we won't get the top candidate, so we'll settle for a guy like Mike McCarthy. Well, a former head coach, he's had success. You know, he did a good job in Dallas no matter what. And then, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Dolphin Dave says Mike McCarthy, he is a winner. Yeah, and just Bills fans would give us 2 first-round picks to take Joe Brady. Well, I'll take Joe Brady. Big time. Yeah, that's true. 2 first-round picks and Joe Brady. I'll do that. Ed Ogeron. Yeah, with that voice, that would be that. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you something. We'll go get ready for them Bills. It's crazy. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Hurricanes with the one and only Manny Navarro and our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right, Manny. I got to tell you, bro, I'm super, super nervous about tomorrow. This is one of those games that you would think, all right, Miami needs it badly. In fact, Miami needs like a dominating performance on Pitt. What they couldn't do against Virginia Tech last week, they actually need a dominating performance, beat them up by 20 points, and kind of send them. I don't know if that's going to happen because they can score. They got some tough guys on defense. Dude, this is one that I got to tell you, I am nervous, big time.
Yeah, for sure. I actually made my pick this week, and I picked Pittsburgh to win. I think Miami is facing one of the better teams in the conference and somebody who's red hot. They've played really, really well outside of that Notre Dame game for the last several months, and they're at home, and it's in the cold, and we know how Miami does on the road. They're not as good on the road as they are at home, and just like most college football teams. And, I think Mason Heinzel and that Pittsburgh roster presents some issues for Miami, especially with what he can do getting the ball out to his playmakers. And look, Miami should win at the line of scrimmage. They're a better offensive and defensive line team, but we saw what Louisville did to Miami, right? Even though Miami was the better offensive and defensive line team. So that can get negated through coaching, and I think this is one of those games that it's not a good matchup for Miami. If they're going to win, they're going to need Carson Beck to play his best. Can't turn the ball over at all. Has to be on his game. Because Pitt can shut down the run and they can make Miami one-dimensional. So, to me, I look at this as arguably the toughest game of the season for Miami.
Yeah, you expect the Pitt linebackers to give them problems?
Yeah, Biles and they're really good at turning teams over, creating turnovers. You saw the pick six last week when Georgia Tech was trying to come back. Their defense just does a solid job making teams one-dimensional. They shut the run down. And I know Notre Dame had a lot of success running the football, but Notre Dame's running a better running team than Miami is. That's just facts. Miami doesn't run the football as good as it should. considering the talent they've got on their offensive line. And so to me, I look at this as a tough assignment for Miami. And again, it comes back to Beck. He's played phenomenal the last couple of weeks, right? Since the SMU game, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's been on his game. Malachi Tony's been on his game. But, this is a banged-up football team too. We're at the end of the season. Miami's had injuries on defense. Jacoby Thomas only played 13 snaps last game. You already lost Keontae Scott. You saw last week Virginia Tech had success running the football against Miami. So I look at this as, forget what Mario says in the in the interviews and the post game and all that other stuff about injuries. Guys are banged up. They're going into this game banged up, and so I think that puts them on an even playing field with Pittsburgh.
So on the recruiting side, talk to us what is happening, because they're on the road this weekend, so it's a different ball game. So talk to us a little bit where recruiting stands.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got a top 10 class right now. They've got 30 commitments, although one of them I think is going to end up officially announcing he's decommitting. One of the defensive linemen that they have that's from Arkansas, I think he's ended up going to another SEC school. So, they're looking to poach some guys right now. They're in the poach phase here late, trying to flip guys. Karsten Bush is one of them, a linebacker who's been committed to Wisconsin. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. 3-star kid. Linebacker's the one spot. You look at this class and you say, man, I wish they could upgrade, get some more depth. I think they're trying. We'll see if they end up flipping Carson. He's supposed to be down here, I think, Saturday night after the Canes get back. So that's according to Gabby Urrutia from Inside the U. He's reported on that. So, we will see what happens. I think, look, they're going to end up with an elite class. I think all the coaching changes in college football have really helped Miami this recruiting cycle. You think about all the power programs, the Penn States of the world, the LSUs of the world, all of them, Florida, all of them dealing with coaching changes. The calendar stays the same though throughout all of that, right? And so I think Miami's been able to take advantage and build a pretty strong class because some of their competition hasn't been able to have the head coach in place, right? There's so many questions surrounding those programs. So I think it's helped Miami out, and I think they'll end up with a top 10 signing class. And, then it's a matter of what they go out in the portal and they get a quarterback and some of those other positions.
What is the word on the quarterback position for next year? What are you looking at?
Yeah, a lot of good quarterbacks I think are going to end up in the market. I think if Lenora Sellers decides to come back to college and not go pro, I think he's potentially an option for Miami. I think the kid from Arizona State who's been a starter there, looks like he'll be on the road. There's so much player movement that still has to play out. DJ Lagway is another one at Florida. He's had a horrible year, but I think a lot of it was injury related. So I think Miami will kick the tires on a lot of quarterbacks. But again, that window, the portal window, doesn't start until January. So we still have some time, and you're going to see obviously some coaches get hired. You've seen it already, right? Oklahoma State just hired the coach from North Texas, Drew Mestamaker, was expected to be somebody hot on the portal. He'll be somebody following his coach to Oklahoma State. So, the quarterback market's going to be in flux here, but I think Miami will be aggressive because they know they got to get a veteran in here to compete for the starting job with what they got potentially coming back.
So nothing like the kid that they recruited and has been here for a year or two, I think.
Right.
He doesn't have a future?
Well, Luke Nickel, Darion Coleman, all of those guys will get a chance. But I just think the way college football has evolved, everybody ends up taking a transfer quarterback. Alabama ended up sort of getting fortunate. They had a guy waiting in the wings for 3 years that was ready for his spot. Georgia decided to do the same thing with Gunnar Stockton, but a lot of other teams that are successful in college football have to hit the portal to find that guy. And I think it's just the way it's operated for a lot of teams. I have yet to hear Mario or anybody on that staff say, we've got the quarterback on the roster. We've got the guy for next year on the roster, right? I think the idea is you just go out and you get as much talent as possible. You see how it shakes out, and whoever's the best guy wins. And I think that's the approach you have to take now in college football.
Wow. So do you find that as a positive or a negative?
No, I don't know if it's a positive or negative, because in the end, what does it matter? Like, look at Ohio State, right? Julian Sayin, he signed with Alabama, right? He transferred in, just happened to be the right guy at the right time. Look at Indiana with Fernando Mendoza. Last year, Indiana made all that noise with another transfer quarterback, a kid they got out of Ohio. It's almost to each of their own. I mean, ideally, it'd be easy. easier for recruiting purposes to just get the best 5-star every single year and make him your guy. Notre Dame's done that with CJ Carr, right? They had him waiting in the wings for a year. I mentioned Georgia and Alabama had guys that were sort of waiting in the wings for a couple years. I just think it depends on ultimately the offensive coordinator and what they feel is best for the offense. And so while it's nice to groom guys, sometimes those guys never develop into what you envision. And so I think it's, and that's another thing too. It's who knows what's going to happen with Shannon Dawson. All these coach openings, there's going to be more coach openings as people leave to take those other jobs that are open right now. And so the carousel is going to be moving, brother. And so you really don't know what's going to end up happening here until probably the middle of January when that transfer window closes. That's when you have a real good idea of, okay, this is your coach, this is your coordinator, this is your quarterback, and then you go from there.
All right. To me, it would be nice if you can actually recruit a guy and have him start for 2 or 3 years for you.
Yeah, I
just set that up, because getting a new guy for 1 year, that poor guy has to adjust to everything. And if you have a guy that already knows the system and kind of, more comfortable, I mean, it just would be the perfect scenario. It's kind of sad to hear that Luke Nichols been here for 2 years and he's not the guy. So that,
Luke Nichols has been here 1 year.
1 year. Okay.
Yeah, he just got here. But if you go through like the top 20 quarterbacks in college football, I mean, it just, there's so many transfers. Julian Sayin was a transfer. Fernando Mendoza transfer. Pavia transfer. Dante Moore transfer. Damon Williams transfer. Carson Beck transfer. It's the way of the sport now, and I think a lot of it just has to do with so many coaches that are constantly on the move. The fact the carousel changes, and then they want their own guy to run their offense.
No, I get it. I just think you're playing with fire, because you're not always going to get what you want. Whereas if you are able to develop your own guy, then you'll get what you want for a couple of years and you won't have to worry about it, man.
I mean, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. But I think these coaches know, look, they're in practice with these dudes every day, right? They're in the quarterback room with them every single day. They start to figure it out by the end of the season. Hey, we've got somebody that we think can really do the job, or we don't have somebody that can really do the job. I think in the end, what you need more than anything else is depth. You can't just go into a season saying we got one guy and we're putting all our marbles on this guy. You need 3 guys at that spot, that if one of them gets injured, one of them decides I don't want to wait anymore and I'm getting in the portal and leaving, that you have at least 2 to fall back on going into a year. And it's the toughest position to me to recruit in this sport because of the amount of turnover at the coordinator position and quarterback coach position. Every single year, people are on the move. And so it's hard to just recruit a 4- and 5-star guy and then, put energy into him, because if he's not playing within the second year, he's probably gone. So it's just tough. It's tough position now in college football to sort of treat traditionally.
All right. Don't forget, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic. You can subscribe and check out The Athletic too at the same time. Manny, what can you tell me about Jaden Upshaw, a wide receiver that is also on the radar for the Miami Hurricanes?
Jaden Upshaw, Georgia kid, 6'2", 202, 4-star, top 100 type guy. I don't know if Miami's ultimately in on him. I think he's taken visits to other places, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Florida State here in the last month and a half or so. I think they're pretty set with what they got at the wide receiver position. They like what they have at those spots. But, maybe somebody's going to defect here. They're worried about, flipping to go to another school here at the last minute. That happens. New money comes in all the time and you got to find a replacement. So I don't know if he's going to reclassify 2027 kid Upshaw. Maybe that's more for the 27 class, but he's if we're talking about the immediate 2026 class, I think they're set at wide receiver. Upshaw's probably a guy that unless he reclassifies, I don't see him being in this class.
What's the tight end position look like for the future?
Good. I like the guys that they have in this class for Miami. They got the kid from California who's been a part of the class for a while. The one that they just flipped from Colorado. Big, strong kid who's played multiple sports. He played think it's his first or second full year in football, has over 30 touchdowns, runs the Wildcat. They look like they're upgrading the tight end position in my mind. Obviously this season, some of the kids that they had at that spot haven't really panned out the way that they wanted. I think they wanted some more size, and they've gone out and recruited it. I think they've done a good job recruiting almost every position. I think linebacker is the only one that I look at and I say, well, maybe it's just not as good as it should be. But, I think overall it's been a really good class. And looking at the name of the tight end now, as I call it back up, Gavin Mueller, that's the kid. 6'5", 255 out of Illinois. He's the guy that they're really excited about. Was a Colorado commitment. So I think they're fine. I think they're, the funny thing is in Shannon Dawson's offense, it's not like they use the tight end a whole lot, right? I mean, last year you saw it with Elijah Arroyo, but this year it's kind of gone back to what it was the first year where, you sprinkle it in. It's not a position that is a dominant position in this offense.
Which doesn't make any sense to me, because to me, that's one of the best friends of any quarterback is a tight end. And this team's history with tight ends is very good. So I really like having a tight end involved in the offense. It's one of the things I would bitch and complain about with the Dolphins, that they wouldn't implement the tight end nearly as much under Mike McDaniel, and which makes no sense to me. To me, the tight end is, one of the best weapons that you can use in football.
Well, the last couple of weeks, Elijah Laughlin has caught a couple of touchdown passes. He caught one against Virginia Tech. So, I mean, they're using it a little bit more, but I think primarily it has not been a priority in this offense. I think that's fair to say. Last year with Arroyo, I think they kind of split him out wide. They used him a little bit more as a wide receiver than an inline blocker, catching balls out of, it was more when he lined up wide that you saw the big plays with him. So, I think in this offense, the way I look at it, it's sort of like a secondary third option.
All right. What are you working on in the athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah. Next week, I'll be having an article on the Division II FCS transfers, all the guys that made the move up, how many of them actually succeeded. The number is actually pretty good. The amount of FCS guys that have come up and actually become starters across Power 4 schools. So I'll have sort of a look at that, whether or not that's something Miami wants to do, take a chance on some FCS guys. They obviously did it with Marty Brown, the running back. He's turned out to be a nice compliment, a guy from North Dakota State. So we'll examine some of the guys that are already in the portal from the FCS and Division II ranks, guys that are looking to make the move up, and which ones maybe Miami should be in on. We'll have our all of our coverage regarding the final week of the regular season here and what amounts to, the conference championships and the college football playoff picture.
All right. And follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic. Manny, enjoy your weekend, my brother. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We will talk in the afternoon on Saturday.
All right, brother. Good talking to you.
Thank you, sir. That is the great Manny Navarro with our BigCheeseMiami.com Miami NIL and recruiting report. And by the way, visit our friends at the Big Cheese, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. It is party platter time, baby. Lots of people are having parties for their office, for their get-togethers, schools, whatever it is. And you remember, you can make any dish a party platter there at the Big Cheese. Plus, they also have the patio that you can rent out from 20 to 40 people, up to 40 people. So if you want to have a get-together somewhere and you're looking to rent somewhere, go to BigCheeseMiami.com. You can enjoy some delicious pasta shipped from Italy, cooked fresh daily, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Give them a ring, 305-662-6855. If you want to rent the patio, if you want to order party platters, or get on down there, go to the menu, check it out at BigCheeseMiami.com. Check out the menu before you go, because the menu is extensive and you will love it. And those garlic rolls are to die for. BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
Well, Sean, it started. Jimmy Butler complaining like a little bitch that his team doesn't play defense. They don't box anybody out. They don't rebound. And then, he opened the door for Draymond Green, who's another asshole, who's also taking shots at his team. And then, of course, Steve Kerr. Well, like John Madden says, Bill Parcells says, you are what your record says you are. We're a 10-10 team, and we're a 500 team. Steph Curry's injured right now. He's going to miss a week or two. Old ass Warriors. This is so predictable, dude. So predictable. Meanwhile, the Heat's number 3 in the conference, kicking some ass. We'll see if the Heat are real and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a great start, but we have no idea if this is real or Memorex. So we'll find out as time goes on. It's way too early to think that this is real, but it looks better than what's going on over there on the West Coast. And it's just predictable, dude. Just predictable wherever he goes. It just doesn't sound like there's a lot of joy. There probably is joy for Butler. You know why? Because he got paid. Because that's joy. It's not really that. It's really that he got his money, so he can not do anything for it.
Or if he has a big coffee already over there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how that place is still open here, to be quite honest. But it's funny that, you've got him complaining 20 games into the season. And meanwhile, the Joy Dealer and company are doing much better here in Miami. It is, by the way, Friday, November 28th here at AcuraPemPines. It is day number 18,943 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It is day number 8,727 since the Canes won the national title. And by the way, I talked about this coaching list, and somebody asked me if I don't like the Chris Shula one. First of all, the only reason you guys are mentioning the Chris Shula, it's because of Shula. Okay, and I want to remind you that Mike Shula wasn't shit, and neither was Dave Shula. And these were actual, sons from Don Shula. This is not a son from Don Shula. This is a nephew of Don Shula. But anyway, he has done a fantastic job as a defensive coordinator. Sean McVay is the guy on that team. That's the team that's won a Super Bowl title, and he has redone this team a couple of times, and here they are again. And they got a shot. Chris Shula, I love what he's done, but he's so young, and he's only been on one team. He has no experience on being a head coach or how to build a staff because he's only been on one staff. I'm not a fan of that. Wasn't a fan of Joe Philbin and wasn't a fan of Brian Flores. Two guys that we got that were stuck on one team for many years, over a decade, but they knew nobody around the league because they only knew what they knew. That's it. And when when Philbin left, McCarthy says, "You're not taking any of my guys." And that's it. And Flores left. He took two of the guys that Belichick probably didn't want because they were gone too here eventually. So while Chris Shula's name is Shula, and I understand why fans are attracted to that because they, think the silly shit that, oh, well, yeah, if it's Don and then this, yeah, he's going to be great too. He's another Shula. Most of you young people don't remember that Mike Shula and David Shula weren't anything when it comes to the NFL. So I would just pump the brakes on Chris Shula. Okay. And by the way, if Chris Shula would take a head coaching job, the last place that he would take a job is where Don Shula coached, dude. That is just stupid, catastrophically stupid for him to take that job. If people are offering him a head coaching job, the one he should never, ever, 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 ever take is the Miami Dolphins job. Because all there's going to be is Don Shula comparisons, and he doesn't need that. He just doesn't. When they're talking about him on TV, they don't mention Don. Now, guess what happens if he comes here? So that's the other thing that you all, your fanboy, fangirl stuff, let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. Drop the Chris Shula shit. Okay? If Chris Shula ever was ready to be a head coach, it'll be 30 teams. The Rams and the Dolphins are two jobs he'll never take. Because he would be the dumbest mofo in the world that if any other team is offering him a job, he takes Miami over that. That would be stupid on his part because the fans and the media would build it up and it would just be unreachable for the young man. So stop it already. I get it. I understand the comparisons. I understand why you're gravitating to it. Go with Joe Brady. That might be a better one. All right, let's find out what the wise guy is thinking. Okay? Because, Steve Calabro is ready at Hialeah Park, and they're ready. They're open. Open yesterday, open today. Ready for you. You can use the sports app so you can make some bets. There he is. Don't appreciate the shirt, but there he is. What can I say?
What do you mean? Hello, good morning, Big O. How was your Thanksgiving?
I'm a Canes guy. You're showing me Gators. That kind of makes me want to throw up. I'm sorry. I get it. Now, folks, a doctor saved his life from the Gators, so I would be a Gators fan too, okay?
Okay.
You know what I mean? If it was from Notre Dame, I'd be wearing Notre Dame stuff if it saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it too.
And he's the man. He is the rock star, Dr. Lai Ming Su. He is the best Gator on the planet. I'll tell you that right now.
And by the way, may I say, because we should all pray and be grateful, Steve is a cancer survivor and a cancer beater. So, he crushed it, and thanks to that doctor with the Gators. So
with the Gator doctor,
we got to be grateful for the Gator doctor. And so you're a badass, Steve, and so is that doctor. So,
but now, what about the Mets hat? I'm sitting in Port St. Lucie right now.
I can live with the Mets hat. The Gator stuff kind of really hurts me. I'm a Marlins guy. I've got nothing to stand on. You know what I mean? If I was, but I'm a Marlins guy. It's like embarrassing that I'm a baseball fan, So, although it's kind of embarrassing for the Mets with the amount of money that they spend, Mr. Cohen and company. I give him credit. He's willing to spend, but boy, he has not spent the money the right way.
He's going to spend more. You watch him. He's going to spend more. He's got more. He's got money to burn. Literally, literally has money to burn. And he's going to spend more, and maybe someday it turns out, but who knows?
You know what it reminds me of? The Moss Brothers. Those crazy bastards will spend, and they're going to do it until they win. And there they are, dude. And they're doing it. So you know what? At least that's the good side for any sports fan. That if you have an owner that at least is willing to spend,
sure,
that's half the battle.
Nowadays,
you got to know how to spend it, but you have to be. If you have Mike Brown with the Bengals, you'll never get there because he'll never spend. So you're screwed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But if you have the owner that is spending, all they got to do is figure it out. And if they do, you're in.
They catch a break, they spend a lot, and they can do well. But it's not a guarantee all the time, as we've seen with the Mets. But anyhow, by
the way, Frankie Fresco has sent in a super chat that says, "Go Gators, Steve."
See,
so there you go. See, so you made some people happy in there.
See, there you go. Okay. At any rate,
Thank you.
Hey, you were saying, hey, we're open today at Hialeah Park. We're more than open. Our AK Royal in the poker room is approaching $200,000 as a jackpot. We got a $100,000 bad beat. Tomorrow I'm giving away the killer monster truck at 1:00 in the morning on Saturday night. I mean, this is, you have to almost have your head examined if you went to any other casino this weekend. Literally. Maybe I'm biased, but who knows? But I got to tell you, there's some pretty good things happening at Hialeah Park right now. But that being said, the Jersey wise guy is weighing in, and he's feeling it. He's feeling it this week. And I gotta tell you, before I tell you the picks, they look good. I think they look good. So he likes the Pats over the Giants. It's -7.5.
Pats,
but don't worry, the Pats will be losing by they'll be tied at the third quarter, and then they'll beat the Giants by 20 points.
And the kid's coming back now. But if he's going to continue to play the way he plays, Jackson Dart will not last. You got to stop with that, Stu. You got to live from the pocket, kid. And the Pats are just a much better team right now. I love that pick. Pats -7.5. I like it.
Next one's a little controversial, but I like the pick. It's the Niners -5 over the Browns. I don't think Shador. I mean, look, Shador's good and all, but he's not going to go on some kind of crazy win streak, I don't think. So I think the Niners are going to handle him. I do.
You think they win by a touchdown? Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's -5.
Yeah,
so
that's not
and
bad.
the last one, I actually think this is a tough one, but I don't know. I think the good Bills team is going to show up this week. The Jersey guys got the Bills beating the Steelers. Bills are -4. But I think Josh Allen's going to do it this week. I really do. I mean, it's every other week for him.
Pitt doesn't have Aaron Rodgers this week, right?
No, they don't.
Oh, no, yeah. So I like that. I like that one, actually. I like that one, yes.
Toes are going
to. Rudolph is the quarterback, right? Yeah, and he's terrible.
Well, he's proven that he can't really make it in the NFL, so we know that. He's at best the backup for 1 or 2 games, at best.
Right. He's a jag. Pats -7.5 versus the Giants, Niners -5 at the Browns, and the Bills -4 at Pittsburgh. All right.
Listen, I want to report one more thing because just to get you going, maybe this will get you going a little. The Gators, the Gators fired their quarterback, their coach, their football coach, Napier, and he needed to get fired. His record was 21 wins, 22 losses.
No, forget it. In Florida, it's acceptable.
That's like a D-F score, Yeah. And I was reading that the University of North Texas is ready to hire Bill Napier. So you think about the concept of one man's trash is another man's treasure. It is alive and well in college football. And by the way, Napier is going to walk out of university. He's going to walk out of Gainesville with $30 million or $27 million or something like that.
Okay. What did you say there, Sean, when he was saying that? Because I couldn't hear you.
No, North Texas just lost their coach. I'm trying to figure out where he went. Manny actually just said.
Oh, okay. So North Texas coach left somewhere else.
Oh, he went to Oklahoma State.
Oh, he went to Oklahoma State.
And he's taking the quarterback with him.
Oh, and
that's Manny was saying in the last.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Napier going to take Lagway?
The rumor is Napier is going to. Yeah, the whole thing. Napier and the kid from Florida. I don't know. I hope not. That's bad. But that's what's making college football a little weird.
But the Gators will be fine, dude, because they have money and they'll go get another coach and they'll try to hit on the next guy. But Napier wasn't the answer. They had to make the change.
They should have made it last year. They should have made it last year.
I can see listen, Manny Diaz got fired here and then Duke hired him, right? Or Temple, then Duke, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lesser job. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be making all that Florida money anyway. They're going to pay him all that guaranteed money that they owe him. And then North Texas will get him super cheap anyway, as it is. So that's this is a way for Napier to kind of stay in the mix of working is what it is.
Yeah, it keeps him employed. But
that's
think about it. He was below 500.
I know he's terrible.
I mean, he just didn't have a good performance matters.
But some guys are better small school coaches, and maybe that's what Napier is. We'll find out. You know what I mean?
We'll see. We'll see.
That's what it is. Some guys, you can't. When you go to Florida State, Alabama, or Texas, whatever, that's big time football, man. And those fan bases are not going to tolerate, 500. They're just not.
So I got one more thing about college football because it's driving me nuts. Right? Did I mention to you and Sean that I'm from New Jersey? I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah. So I kind of follow Rutgers, which is that's like punishment, It's
why?
That's like there's college football, there's small college football, and then there's really bad college football. And that would be where Rutgers falls. But Greg Schiano, the coach there, you talk about making money. Here's a guy that is below 500 record. He's making $20 million a year. He has a personal helicopter. He's the highest paid guy in the state of New Jersey, employee of the state of New Jersey. It's starting to get a little stupid.
Well, because he's living off the past when he had success there. And a lot of people, most people have never had success there. So they're kind of hanging on and hoping that he can rekindle that success.
He had one thing. I take success out of it. He had Ray Rice. And Ray Rice had a pretty good college career. That was it.
Yeah. But either way, he has not recaptured that. What was it, Orange Bowl trip or something for the Rutgers or something? It was something crazy. Nobody ever expected them to be in that kind of a bowl game. So that's kind of what it is. And they're hanging on because they're not going to get a top-notch coach anyways because they're Rutgers. So, yeah, it is what it is. What were you going to say, Sean?
Well, I got two things now because Rutgers in the 90s would be good today because you used to transfer to Rutgers to rebuild your game to move on.
Right.
And now that would be perfect. But unfortunately, they don't have the money for the NIL. And number two, Aaron Rodgers, full participant in practices.
Oh.
So he may be for Sunday.
Oh, boy.
So that's one you got to wait for and find out on Sunday before you lay the cheese.
Yeah, I still think the Bills are going to hand it to him. I think the Bills are going to hand it to him.
Yeah.
And I don't think.
And Frankie says Lane Kiffin going to Florida. That would make so much sense.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Ridiculous how much that would make sense. If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm taking Florida over LSU.
So would I.
Is awesome. It's a great school. They got all the money in the world, but I'd rather live in Gainesville, bro. I don't want to live in. I'm sorry, folks out there in Louisiana, but what is it? Shreveport? Is that where it's at? LSU? I think it is Shreveport.
Yeah, Shreveport.
Yeah, I've driven by Shreveport. I've driven right through Shreveport. Oh, it's in Baton Rouge. Either way, yeah, no.
But Big O, I need your opinion on this.
No.
So there's a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge I'll give you. Lane Kiffin's ex-wife is a University of Florida grad.
Oh, then he's there for sure.
Well, maybe it's emotion either way. I don't know. Maybe it's bad or good. I don't know.
Lane will make her jealous by banging all the rest of the co-eds in that place. So that's kind of what he's going to do. Yeah. I mean,
but I have heard.
Lane is a very active Willie.
Well, I have heard that Ole Miss is willing to give him a $64 million extension, but that hasn't been confirmed. That has not been confirmed.
I'm sure Ole Miss is willing to give him any kind of money. They're not cheapos. Although they now are going to pay the coach because they knew that it was going to become a PR nightmare for them if they didn't pay the guarantees of their last coach there. So now they're coughing up the money, but that was a bad look for them. If I'm Lane, I'm going to Florida, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to Florida. Okay.
And win a national championship.
Yep. I'm with you. All right, Steve.
All righty. Thanks a lot, guys.
Brother. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Good luck on the Jersey Wise Guy picks. Take care.
My friend. Be good. There you go. Let's go over the picks again. It is the Pats -7.5 versus the Giants, the 49ers -5 versus the Browns, and the Bills -4 at Pittsburgh. But watch out for Aaron Rodgers. And we have a guest on the show. You ready? Because Kyle Lowry is making a live appearance today
on the show. I mean, a lot of times he tries to sneak in and sneak out before we get here. You guys don't know it, but every time we're here, Kyle Lowry tries to avoid the show. Well, this time, Kyle Lowry was not able to avoid the show. We caught him, and he is now going to show up here for us on the program, the one and only Kyle Lowry, the guy that stole money from the Heat and from Pat Riley, the bum that ruined the run for Jimmy Butler and company because Jimmy Butler sucks as a general manager because, the star he wanted to pick next to him was Kyle Lowry, that bum ass. Well, guess what? That bum ass is making an appearance right here on the show, and I want you all to wave at Kyle Lowry as he drives by. Here we go. Say hi to Kyle. There he is. There he is. That waist. There's Kyle Lowry. See? He always visits us. A $90 million set of garbage. There we go. Did you guys see it? Kyle Lowry making the appearance here on the show. Love it. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says, WWE Survival Series, John Cena or Dominic Mysterio? I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna make any surprise here. I'm not gonna keep it mysterious. I'm going with Mysterio. I'm going with Dominic. This John Cena stuff. He's too old. He's riding around with purple bulls and stuff like that. We have to put an end to all of this. Okay. So I'm gonna say Dominic Mysterio ends the run of the heel.
Real quick, before I know you don't follow wrestling enough. So
not at all.
All right. John Cena's gone back babyface now.
He's
no longer a heel. He's no longer a bad guy. He's now a babyface. He's a heel. He's back
He's
to
too old
C-Nation.
to be babyface.
He's everything else. And also, this is his second to last match in the WWE. December 13th will be
So
his
he
final
has to
match.
win to lose the last one.
Well, no,
Or he could lose this one to win the last one.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just giving you more context so that you.
I
know how you work this out in your head. So
I want to end this Cena thing. Not like this. Like this. Okay? Yeah, Dikembe. No. No. So that's it. End the Cena thing. Dominic Mysterio with the win, Frankie. Okay, then they could give. They could give the heel the last win, so he can go out, but he doesn't win really anything and all that, and just get out of here. So that's it. So, Pat in Nashville says, "Wouldn't it need to be on fire to be Kyle Lowry?" Well, it catches fire later. We don't want to create any hazardous stuff around the cars here at Acura Pembroke Pines here, Pat in Nashville. We want to keep things safe here, so we don't want to light Kyle Lowry on fire yet. It's a key word. We want him on fire, but not yet. Okay? Devin, I have a terrible gut feeling, but my gut feeling was wrong last week. I thought we were going to lose to Cincinnati, Inter Miami, and I think we're going to lose to Pittsburgh tomorrow. I'm afraid of it. Because it's so Mario that he would lose this game. It's so Mario that he would lose this game. That's what I'm afraid of. And Pitt can actually play. So that, yeah. I don't feel good about the game tomorrow. I don't. I just feel like this is the kind of game that he would shit his pants. I'm talking about Mario. Because he does that. He has those games that are brain farts. Anyway, we thank all of you for tuning in. Appreciate the great Larry Schlossberg, as always, making it happen for us. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, We thank Manny Navarro. We thank Steve Calabro. You got the Wise Guy picks, which is Pats -7.5, Niners -5, Bills -4. Tomorrow they give away the Chevy truck. I'll be there. I want to win that bitch. One day I'm going to win one of those. One day I'm going to drive away with one of the, or win whatever it is, Bitcoin, gold, whatever they give away. I try to be to most of them, not all of them, but most. But tomorrow I'll be at that one. So if you are there, say hi, reach out to me like some of you do when you go out there. Anyway, we'll see you on Saturday afternoon after the Canes hopefully beat Pittsburgh, and we'll have Manny on and we'll talk about it. And then we'll return Sunday to do our pre and post game show, get you ready for the Dolphins and the Saints. You all be good out there. Be safe. Enjoy your shopping. Be careful out there. Be courteous to each other. All of that. Save yourselves a lot of money. Get a lot of great deals. Bless you all out there. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.